After turning the corner, I see a familiar face in the distance. I nearly forgot that Luce wanted to meet up after school today. It's fortunate that we passed through the same street to reach our respective houses, otherwise I probably would have totally forgotten about it if I didn't see her here. As I get closer, I can see her eyes open wide, but it's not because I'm greeting her. She's amazed by someone or something else that I can't yet see from my perspective. It's Claire. They approach each other without noticing my presence, and although it's not something to get all excited about, I can't help but recall what Denise had told me a few hours ago. If you say so. In any case, try to be more careful next time. And I don't only mean about yourself. I don't know why I give a different voice like that. I'm talking about Claire. I feel a horrendous shiver go down my spine. I don't know why exactly, but it makes me act quickly, and I immediately run to them. But when I get there, and they're just laughing. Ha ha ha! They're laughing their arses off. Oh, Mike here? What are you doing here? Now we've both lost our bets. Then nobody wins. Everybody loses? But Kier is still the biggest loser. Care to share whatever's wrong with you ladies today? Nothing. I bumped into Luce, so we're chatting. I told her I was waiting for you, and we made a bet over whether or not you showed up. The funny thing is that we both bet that you wouldn't come. Things seem pretty bad for you. Nobody trusts you. Kieran's the kind of guy who forgets everything, especially if it's important. I had the wrong idea there for a moment. Don't scare me like that. What do you think was happening? I sigh, unsure whether or not I should feel happy or something else for how this turn of events has developed. Maybe it's because the idea of those two getting along seems impossible to me, but something about what's in front of me doesn't seem right. Especially with Claire. I thought that she could only speak freely with me, although she isn't doing the best. At least she isn't acting like the shy girl that used to hide behind me the second someone else spoke to her. Well, let's not stand around here. We can take a walk while we're talking. At first, I thought Luz only wanted to talk to me, but then she also invites Claire to join us as well. The girl that once liked to keep everything a secret and used to lie about everything seems to have forgotten about her past, is now leading our tiny group with some small talk. The world keeps spinning after all. Do you guys have any plans for the holidays? The topic of our conversation drifts to the summer holidays for seemingly no particular reason. Everyone is talking about it now that we only have a few weeks left before the school year is over. I can't help but think that I already know the answer to her question by heart, despite this being the first time that someone's asked me directly. I don't think I'll go anywhere special, just the usual visits to the beach with my family. I'll probably do the same. Coming from Claire, I take her words literally. It makes me feel a bit anxious, like she's literally going with you, Kieran, to the beach. Truth is, I was wondering if we could all go somewhere together. My parents are already bugging me with questions about which university I want to go and what I'll study. They're driving me insane. Also, there aren't any universities nearby, so I'm scared that all of us will end up going our separate ways once the holidays are over, especially if I have to move somewhere else. Isn't your birthday during the summer, by the way? We can meet up then. Yes, exactly. You have great memory, Claire. If we do something at the beginning of the summer, it'll line up with my birthday. We can celebrate and have fun. When did I mention the day of my birthday to you anyway? She heard it during my birthday party. It came out when you began insisting that all of us have to celebrate your birthday and give you the best presents on earth. You sounded pretty drunk even though we hadn't been drinking. True, and if you don't obey my command, I'll get mad. What a materialistic girl you are. Without thinking about it, I take a seat on a nearby chair. It's not like my leg hurts or anything, but after so long, one gets used to resting at every opportunity as not to make the pain worse. I'm trying to think positively while I still can. As soon as I get home, I'll have to start studying, and that's so depressing. Are you two not going to study for the final exams? I'm the type of girl who gets focused on the very last second. I'm useless before then. Why would I study? I'm a genius with 3 doctorates from Oxford University. I don't need to do anything like that. Kier's saying that he also puts it off until the last second. You didn't have to be so blunt. Luz covers her mouth as she laughs and seats herself in front of me. She rests her back against the chair and crosses her legs, instantly transitioning from laughing to meditating. I'm telling you this because I won't be able to visit the library for a while. Not for no reason. I'll have to focus on studying. It's because of my mother. She's really strict about it. Nothing at all like my father, who's more of a slob, despite being a teacher. Now that I'm not going to the basketball training anymore, she was always asking questions about where I'm going and what I'm doing. Of course, she assumes that I'm always wasting time instead of studying. It's a pity, but that's exactly why I had to make sure that after this, we'll keep meeting up and following the plan like usual. Luz speaks quickly and ambiguously, as if she's trying to unnecessarily justify a really simple situation. I don't know what she's expecting from me, or if she's thinking that I'll get angry at her over this. Even if she's lying, she still doesn't need to make excuses for herself. Well, it's fine. After the exams, we'll have to meet up again for the graduation ceremony and events and stuff. Now, that's right. We can decide what to do during the party. When Luz comments on the graduation party, I can't help but look at Claire. She folds her arms and looks away from me, trying to hide her feelings on the topic. With that being said, I'm about to stand up when I hear a voice coming from behind me. Good day, what can I get for you? Another part-time job for this person? We instinctively turn to face the new sound, realizing who the source is and exclaiming in unison the title we'd given to this person a few days ago. It's Baldy Bastard! We immediately regret our turn of phrase, and shut ourselves up. We've ended up sitting down at one of the tables of a restaurant. Of course, its waiter is none other than the stocky Baldy that we've come across so many times in the recent past. That huge mass, over 6 feet tall, seemed to be bulging after hearing the affectionate nickname we gave to him, literally tearing apart his clothes. I can clearly see the dark, dreadful aura surrounding him. The gravity around us suddenly seems to grow stronger, to the point that I feel like I'm choking here. Excuse me, I must have confused you with someone else. A cousin of mine. We call him that as an inside joke. Who would have thought? Of course he has nothing to do with you, sir. In fact, we've never met before, have we? Not at a shopping mall, or in a car. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you gonna order or not? Well, guys, I haven't taken a seat, so I'm free to go. Enjoy your lunch and have fun. Good luck. Don't run away now, you coward. Our lives are on the line. I keep bumping into the pop filter. I hope it's not too distracting. Anyway, you'll have to forgive me. I looked at the menu and I couldn't find anything I wanted. While Claire reaches supersonic speed, Luz is playing a rather unconvincing role as a customer. She's shaking so much that nobody would ever believe she's capable of reading the menu that way at all. The waiter asks her to order something anyways, and he'll ask the kitchen if it's possible to make. Well, yeah, what I want is a chocolate milkshake, but with Swedish chocolate, strawberries from French Polynesia, with a small multicolored palm tree that spins in a circle as I drink. So, are you high or drunk? Her eyes open widely, and she speaks to me using only her gaze, like she'd done only a few hours prior in her classroom. Idiot, I asked for something that doesn't exist on purpose. This way we have an excuse to leave. We can say that we accidentally went to the wrong place. I nod with genuine admiration for Luz, not because of her plan, but her skills and being able to communicate using solely body language to this degree. Seriously, how does she do it?
Alright, the number 32 milkshake. For you, sir.
We're frozen for a minute after listening to our waiter. Then the two of us, in unison, look at number 32 on the menu. It exists? It's word for word the same. You nailed it, lady. Luz resigns herself to her doomed fate and collapses on the table. The only one left standing, or rather sitting, is me. I can feel the adrenaline thoroughly rushing through each and every inch of my body. I gather all the courage I have left inside of me and attempt to make myself look composed. I want water. The waiter lifts his pen from his notebook and raises an eyebrow in my direction. It makes me wonder if he wants to kill me or if he didn't hear what I'd ordered. I said, water. I repeated a second time, but I'm so scared I only managed to squeak out a sound far below the volume of any normal human voice. The waiter seems to have read my lips. He writes something down and leaves for a moment. It shouldn't be this difficult, but that guy is too frightening, especially when improvising isn't my thing. The only thing I'm wondering right now if his pen is made of reinforced titanium. I can't think of any other reason why it hasn't broken between his massive fingers yet. Could you have ordered anything sadder? Water! Don't get stuck on that. Sorry, my mind was still closed off. It might be a sad request, but it's free. I don't have any money on me at all, you know. Enjoy the paying the bill on your own. My plan was for you to order first, so that I could order absolutely anything. I'm a genius. I wouldn't be so confident, whiz kid. Save your jealousy, please. Considering my superior intelligence, my IQ is over 250. You need to have over 250 IQ to comprehend this visual novel. Anyway, it's no.
Here you go.
How are you so fast? A bald solar eclipse cuts me off mid-sentence as he places a couple of glasses on the table. Do you really have to keep calling him bald? He's... I don't know.
Here's the number 32 milkshake for the lady.
Oh look, the palm tree really is spinning. Who would have thought?
And your bottle of water, sir. As soon as you know what you like to eat, let me know. You do want something to eat, don't you?
At the moment, I'm not really hungry because I've had enough just from swallowing my tongue in shock and also swallowing my pride after looking at the bottle of water. And when the waiter leaves to attend to other tables, Luz starts laughing, causing her milkshake to shake. Milkshake to shake. You should have told me that your IQ of 250 is in the negative, Kier. I should have said I didn't want bottled water, but I was just so damn scared. Well, since we're here, we may as well have our last meeting of the holidays now. Luz noisily slurps down her milkshake through a straw and stretches her arm out towards me, her palm open. I don't know what she's trying to do, so I high-five her. Baka? I mean your fairy tale. Didn't you say that there's a new chapter? Luz opens and closes her outstretched palm, still accompanied by the sound of her slurping. The sound of her slurping her delicious milkshake. Is that sounds again? That sounds off. Shouldn't be like accompanied by the sound of her. Accompanied by the sound of the. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't even know how to make it sound correct. The sound of her. The sound of her. She's slurping a delicious milkshake, or that's how it makes it. That's how she makes it seem anyway. Whatever. I reach for a folder I have in my hand and take out the sheets of paper sitting inside of it. Luz immediately steals them from my hands before I can even react. Your writing style is the same as always. I can't understand how it takes you so long when half of it is pretty much already written. We've already gone through this. Yeah, everything's on purpose. I told you that I find out what that's all about, but it's okay as well if I try to get info out of you directly from time to time. How much is left now? You should already have an idea about how you'll finish it. Well, the next chapter will be the last. No, seriously? What will the ending be? I haven't decided yet. I'm always open to change. You become so insufferable when you're trying to sound interesting. You're why can't I say that word? You're insufferable 24/7, and I don't complain about you. Because you don't have balls, they must have retracted. I bet we could order them at this restaurant, though. How do you prefer them, boiled or fried? Definitely fried. I mean, don't you dare joke about that with the Baldy wandering around. He could hear you. I don't think so. I thought he...
Here are your fried eggs. Enjoy.
That was fast. Look at what you've done. You better pay for this. Why? Notice how he brought you fried eggs? That means he heard what you'd said, else they wouldn't be fried. Each customer has to pay for their own meal, and the waiter put that dish in front of you. Oh yeah? What would you think if someone suddenly ordered the most expensive thing on the menu under your name? The special here, so many zeros. Waiter! Don't do it! Waiter, he didn't...
Here's today's special for the lady.
How does he do it? You schmuck, this is war. Bring another special for this gentleman. Don't you dare! Don't make me order that expensive wine for you! Then I'll order the caviar, oysters, truffles, lobster, and... Nobody can defeat me at wasteful spending, you'll see! And thus, they became very poor, and dropped out of school, and lived on the streets forever. I don't know. Well, 10 minutes later. Well, he bought everything. Yeah, and with incredible speed. With empty eyes, I gaze at the over 1 foot mountain of food in front of us. Each dish is weirder than the last, to the point that there are even some inedible things, like a miniature train that actually moves. Even though everything seems to be delicious and has great aromas, our stomachs feel full once we realize that we did all of this because one of our usual... Excuse me. Because one of our usual petty brawls. I always burp a little at this hour because I usually eat eat breakfast right before I stream. Probably a bad idea. Anyway. You don't know what you're missing because this is great. I have no idea how they can cook all this so well and quickly. People don't respect the laws of thermodynamics anymore. Wait a second, did you leave earlier? Well, whether or not I left is relative. Seeing as you guys can't eat all of this alone, I decided to return and help you. Wasting food is awful. There are so many problems with that sentence that I prefer not to think about it. What about you, Kier? Why did you ask the waiter to sing the Power Rangers theme song? He's playing the electric guitar and everything.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Wow. He can do everything. He has so many part-time jobs. He can sing. He can play the guitar. He's very talented. I have no idea. I was running out of ideas, and I figured asking for a Super Sentai song would be too nerdy. No, that's not the issue here. True, I should be more demanding of that baldy. Waiter, I want you to sing it like it's an alexandrine. Alexandrine. Actually, I don't know what that means either. So I want to look that up. I want to learn what that means. Alexandrine? Never seen it in my entire life. Help me, Google. What is alexandrine? Alexandrine. Oh, it's a line of a verse having a 6 iambic feet. What is iambic? I don't know. Some kind of verse. Iambic. I mean, I think I know what that is. It's from English. Iambic pentameter. It's just a type of measurement for rhythm, I guess. I guess it's just a very specific type of singing something or speaking something. I don't know. I don't know how to say it though. Like go 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 Power Rangers. I mean, if it's having 6 iambic feet, probably need a musical example or something to actually hear it. But anyway, whatever. It's a bit of a tangent. Who cares? Go 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 Power Rangers. Probably says it in a very funny way. Excellent. Can you stop this nonsense? It's not like we can pay for all this anyways, woman. At least this way we can win something.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear but overhear your conversation. Is it true that you won't be able to pay your bill?
Hey, hold it. Who gave you permission to stop singing? If you don't give me my alexandrine, I already forgot how to pronounce it, I'm leaving without paying. Don't you dare leave now, schmuck. We're gonna get out of this mess together. And I'll eat the food. Then pull out your wallet. The very moment that you joined us here, you became an accomplice. You don't have anything on me, or you don't have anything on me. I'll take you more seriously if you weren't talking with your mouth full, Claire. Can't someone call for help? Ask for a loan? Offer to clean dishes? Be a man for once, Kier. Gender equality only applies when it benefits you, doesn't it? Well, you were calling him woman a few seconds prior, so I don't think you can talk, Kieran. For starters, I don't have a cell phone, and who would I call anyways? Yeah, for that you need to have friends first. Exactly, I have no friends, so... No, wait. Damn, Claire, don't make me say that kind of thing. But you don't deny it. Poor us. If you ever found out what you think about him, or what you think about him... I consider him more of a slave, to be honest. He isn't poor, though. In fact, he's probably the only one of us with enough money to pay this bill, but I doubt Oz will pop out right now.
Where would I pop out?
Or pop up? Oz, my friend, have I told you how much I value your friendship lately? Don't say that after what I just heard you say about me. Or don't say that after what you just said about me. That was a joke, my loyal companion. Compañero, as you always say. You know that you have to play bad boy with women sometimes, something I've learned from you, like almost everything else about life.
Oh yeah, woman. I know what you mean, compañero. You're wise to follow my teachings.
He's just so stupid. In any case, my friend, no, master, I have a small favor to ask of you.
I won't pay for anything.
Are you sure? It's not for me, but for those two ladies. Who knows how they'll thank you if they see your magnanimous generosity. I don't like the sound of that, Kier. You just have to flaunt some skin and talk all sexily to him. Be a real woman for once, Luz. You were just talking about gender equality just like a few seconds ago. Anyway, why don't you take your own advice once in a while? There's no way this will work with the lowly and the tomboy. I have to bring in the big guns. The lolly and the tomboy. So, Oz, were you with the substitute teacher until now? What kind of punishment did she give you? What? No, nothing happened. What are you talking about? His reaction is so suspicious that it'll be sinful not to abuse it. Nothing, but I was waiting for you earlier and I took a peek in the class to see what was happening. Shut up! Alright, I'll pay, don't say anything. In exchange for my silence, nervous and scatterbrained Oz retrieves his wallet and asks for a bill. Did you really see something here? What happened? No idea, I was bluffing. Oz is so narcissistic that he probably doesn't want anyone to know about whatever the humiliating punishment he was given, I guess. But he's the one who keeps humiliating himself all the time. Fortunately for us, that's something he'll only realize when he grows up. Which is probably never. There's a small issue. I didn't bring enough cash and I don't have my credit card. What can we do? Don't worry, I have 35,000 coupons that we can use as payment. It still makes me feel kind of sad to throw them away like this, even though I never use them. It's a lot of coupons. Are you stupid?
We will gladly accept your coupons, thank you very much.
What's wrong with this restaurant? It's a pretty amazing restaurant, that's for sure. Luz, Claire, and I are walking down the street on our way home. We left Oz behind. He lives in the opposite direction and was also unusually Why? I always get stuck on the weirdest of words. Indisposed. Sheesh, it's an easy word to say. Indisposed. After the enigmatic events that had transpired with the substitute teacher. I didn't even have time to tell him that I'll pay him back whenever I have the money. I thought he'd be happier since that teacher is even kind of attractive. I choose not to think about it any longer. I'm not nosy. I know that Oz, despite how annoying he is sometimes, wouldn't bug me about things when I seem unfit for it. I'm going down these stairs. Halfway down the street, there are 4 stone steps that connect to a perpendicular street. Claire goes down the stairs with 4 small jumps. I suspect that she announced it so loudly so that I can't accuse her of stalking me today, since I also have to go down those stairs to get to my house. I say goodbye to Luz, but before going down the first step, I stop and turn around, barely noticing that she appears to be tense. Hey Kier, I was wondering. Every morning, we both have to pass this crossing to get to our respective schools, don't we? And yeah, we probably pass each other without noticing it more than once. That's what I was thinking. I pass here every morning, so I must have seen you coming up these stairs in the past. It's a shame that after so much time, it had to be right before we graduate school that we met, don't you think? You wouldn't have paid much attention to a stranger greeting you in the middle of the street anyways. That's still a lot better than the way we ended up meeting. I seriously thought you were a robber, or something much worse. Touché. We both smile a little, probably because we both assume that we won't meet again until the graduation ceremony. We stare at each other for a few seconds in silence. Neither of us have anything to say. We're embarrassed, or maybe scared, waiting for the other to speak. See you, Kier. Until next time, Luz. I bid her farewell with a wave, then walk down the stairs. From below, I look up at Luz. She's still waving goodbye to me and walking in that sumptuous and prideful way of hers before disappearing out of sight. When I look forward, I notice that Claire is standing next to me, sticking to me like a shadow and following me with short, quick steps. She's always by my side. I'm still intoxicated by the events that took place between us earlier in the music room. Times only managed to make her words even more corrosive. Any conversation right now would sound fake or untrue, especially when all of my thoughts are filled only with memories. It's odd, isn't it? How are you gonna go revert to how you were before I sent you the emails, at least until we graduate? That's what you think? Nothing can return to how it was, in my opinion. And you're right. And that's why heroes who fight to bring peace back to the world are fictional. Do you always have to use the most bizarre analogies you can come up with? It's true though. Even our memories adapt to our nostalgia when it benefits us most. You, for example. You'll have to decide if those stairs will still be used for empty meetings or not. Strangers or friends, each will make a different decision, and the consequences we'll have to see. The brim of her hat cloaks her entirely, but I can still see her huffing motions. How long has it been? How long will it take? The apparent chaos, without any order, extends to in front of my eyes. It silently walks among the noisy streets filled with bustling students. Can I hear something among the crowd? Voices of the distant past, or answers from the future? I don't know. I can't know. That's how it has always been, and how it will be this time too. Even if we're entering the final chapter. Is that a meta comment? Is this literally also the final chapter? Because it's also the fact that he's mentioning the final chapter of his short story. Well, no, this isn't the. Is this? I don't think this is the actual final chapter. I think the final chapter is the next one. I think this is the one he wrote for Luz, I think. Anyway, Reaching the Sun, Chapter 3. Real. So foretold the tales that once upon a time, there was a wolf without a past or memory who wanted to reach the sun. Hey you, Harry, come with me. A voice wafts through the tree branches without any clear origin. Yeah, you, I'm talking to you. Who else? There's no one else here, genius. Come on, follow me. The wolf was astonished. He could see something moving among the treetops whilst the voice grew distant. Before he lost it, the wolf followed it until he reached the foot of the mountain, a dead goat lying at the base. Help yourself, it's your dinner. The voice took shape in front of the dead animal. The source was an apathetic crow with a limp body. He stood out quite a bit because, unlike the other crows, he was grey. The wolf, however, was feeling reluctant about accepting the goodwill of the crow. Are you not only clumsy, but also stupid? The crow complained. Eat it so that I can take the leftovers. The wolf wondered why the crow would need him to do something like that. Fangs, teeth, I'm a bird. How in the world do you expect me to eat the meat? With a knife and fork? You seem to be new at this. The wolves and crows have always helped each other with these things. Oh, I thought that was narration. You seem to be new to this. The wolves and crows have always helped each other with these things. The wolf couldn't help but bow his head. He barely knew how to live within a wolf pack. Hey, I'm also treated differently because I'm grey, and I'm not complaining. I don't even care what your name is, so long as you open up our buddy here and I allow him to rest in my belly. I'm just a wolf, he replied, and that's... Look, you could be a seagull for all I care, the crow said in an irritated tone. You are a wolf, and when I present you with corpses, you tear them asunder. We make a perfect team. We can take a picture to commemorate the epic moment and create a website that chronicles the great adventures of the hobbling wolf and the rejected crow. The wolf nodded. He was about to do as what asked of him and encroach upon the goat's corpse. But he began to rip it apart, or rather, before he began to rip it apart, he realized something. The crow was a huge bird. he could probably fly quite high above, so out of curiosity, the wolf asked the crow if he happened to know how to reach the sun, or if he had visited the sun before. "Yes, and I also have 3 legs. Are you honestly trying to drive me insane?" The crow was outraged. "No, I haven't been that far, nor have I tried. You must be crazy to actually want to go there. But if you're so willing, then why don't you climb atop the mountain and see what you can find there?" The wolf hadn't noticed something so simple. He had tried even worse things before, so it might not be such a bad idea. "In any case, I doubt you will accomplish anything." The crow's words puzzled the wolf and caused him to tilt his head. "It's not a... who's saying this? I think it is the crow, okay. It's not a question of whether or not I believe you can reach the sun. It's quite obvious I don't want to oppose the one standing over my meal." The crow shrugged and sighed in annoyance. "It's that the mountain is quite vast, and I don't think you'll be able to reach its summit. It exhausts me just looking at it, and I can fly. Imagine you're all in a situation when you walk in such an odd manner. It's important to distinguish between reality and delusion, you know. That's my motto." The wolf didn't wish to speak with the crow any further. His own aspirations and the ones of his gray acquaintance were completely different. There was no more reason to discuss it. The wolf asked one last question out of curiosity, and the crow replied angrily. "Why do you care? I won't confirm whether or not that's my name. They're quite noisy." In the same mood, after their dinner, the wolf and the crow bid each other farewell, each going their separate way. This is how the wolf came to begin climbing up the mountain. At first it wasn't too difficult, but it became harder and harder. The mountain's path was erratic and confusing. The wolf got lost easily and was often unsure if he was following the correct path. As he went up, the temperature became more frigid and became more difficult to breathe. The incline of the slopes grew, and the wolf was unable to find another path from which to advance. He sought out a place to rest but was attacked by a bear. He tried to run away but only managed to get injured and further complicate his situation. Some days passed, and the crow was right. It was impossible for the wolf to reach the summit. He was exhausted, disoriented, and injured. How, he wondered, how can the sun bring happiness when it's unreachable? After so many attempts, he had accomplished nothing at all. The sun was so distant, its existence was so difficult to believe in, something so implausible cannot bring joy. The wolf was about to give up. No empty promise of happiness, or the sun itself, justified such a risk. And he was also alone. There was no one standing next to him, no pack, no friends, not even a past or memories. Only one future lay ahead: death. If I'm going to die, then I must at least try. That's my decision. So foretold the tales that once upon a time, there was a wolf without a past or memory who wanted to reach the sun. We don't howl towards the moon this time, in this chapter of Kieran's story. I should save, just in case. Here. Anyway. A phase of my life is coming to an end. It's a time when adults are at ease when their children, or at ease with their children as they present us with that one simple sentence intended to open a fresh conversation. How are your grades doing? But this year, it's different from us, or for us. There's a second question they can ask without worrying about the answer to the first question. What will you study now? It's the most important moment of our lives, the intersection where our destinies will be decided, a time of goodbyes and new beginnings. That's what everyone says anyways. I think they're exaggerating. When you're like me, average grades, average looks, normal prospects, and interests that I at least managed to feign being normal as well, then those questions fail to concern me. He'll be perfectly fine, everyone thinks. Without any kind of pressure or drama, life goes by quickly. No twists or turns. You can summarize your life in a few lines. You use it as a transition to your next biggest life event. The next event for us is the graduation party that those of us in the committee prepared. It started early this morning at the gates of Dujan Institute. Rather, at my old school.
Compañero, you're late.
I greet Oz just as I begin to yawn. He's carrying two large, conspicuous, sturdy briefcases into the main building of Dujan. May I ask what you guys are doing with those things?
No idea. I'm just following the boss's orders. You already know about how she insisted that we didn't know anything about her plans. Go see her. She's been waiting for you for a while now. I'll be there in a minute.
Oz leaves, parting with a miraculous maneuver he uses to open the gates of the school with his feet, since his hands are full. I take in my surroundings, my view mostly filled with students making their way across the school grounds. It's not like there are many people here, but it could still be considered a success, considering the expectations I had for it. Usually, on graduation day, these students only receive their diplomas and listen to a couple of speeches in the auditorium. Later in the day, the grads can prove that they're truly adults now by doing something that's reserved only for adults. Exactly. Getting drunk as a skunk. Well, I don't really drink alcohol, so I never really celebrated by drinking alcohol, at my graduation event or whatever. I don't know. It's just not a thing for me. Instead, I celebrated by watching some anime. I think. Did I? Actually, I can't remember. What did I do in my graduation, high school graduation? I don't know. I didn't do much. Just attended the graduation ceremony, talked to a few people, and then just went home, really. And probably I played. Either I watched some anime or I played some video games. Nothing special, really. And that's me. The main event, being going to a nightclub, seemed too boring for our committee. So we decided to add a small morning competition between the two participating schools. We're supposed to compete amongst ourselves in one way or another, and from what I've heard, there may even be some commemorative prizes. The problem is that, although I'm one of the committee members, I have no idea what's going to happen. I only came here to lend a hand with whatever I may be needed for. It's not like I'm slacking off or anything. I've already helped them out with some vital tasks. Honestly, I didn't think anyone in their right mind would wake up this early to come to school on a day without classes. Where am I even supposed to go now? It seems like I'm not the only one making a lost puppy face this morning, though. I see Claire pacing around, and in her hands, she's carrying flyers. She flails them around in a vain attempt at distributing them among the passerby. All she manages to spout were intermediate monosyllables to which nobody listens. After several failed attempts, she crouches and conceals herself under her hat. It's a bit sad, so I decide to approach her and comfort her. Halfway there, I regret it and stop walking. It's been a while since the last time we saw each other and spoke. I don't know what I could say. It's not that I'm nervous. Well, maybe a little. It's complicated. It'll be best if I leave her alone. It's too late to waste more time. It almost seems as if Claire somehow teleported herself next to me. She grabs my shirt and looks at me with her tearful eyes. Claire. I didn't notice you. How are you? They told me to distribute all of these, but nobody is listening to me. I tried. Well, more or less, you catch my drift. It's just that these people are so impolite. I see. Is something wrong here? Not at all. Why'd you think that? You would usually take this opportunity to laugh at me, and then say something like, "What I don't understand is how no one is taking you to the Lost Kitty area yet. Heh." I never finish my sentences with heh. Don't make things up. It's the only thing I could come up with to imitate that odd smile you make when you're trying to sound cynical. I bring my hands up to my face and press my fingers against my lips, but I immediately realize that Claire's just messing with me. Don't be so serious, silly. It's gonna be a long day. We have plenty of time, don't we? Yeah, I guess so. Regardless, you should have gotten here sooner. The rest of us have been doing all of the work by ourselves. And I'm sure that you haven't met up with the boss yet. Theoretically, I'm looking for her. I'll take you to her. I know where she is. Shouldn't you be passing out those flyers? I don't want to interrupt your work. Do you really think I'll be able to pass out a single one? No way. Alright, let's go. A normal person would at least try to cheer me up. Boo. But that's good. That means that you're back to normal. Follow me. Claire leads me out to the schoolyard. It's a large, outdoor area with several fields set aside for soccer, basketball, and even track and field. Long past are the years where the stands are inhabited by spectators for sporting events of all kinds. This place has seen better times, but in the hands of the carefree student's generation, it's a success that remains standing. I realize where my destination is as soon as we arrive at the yard and see a huge crowd of students, mainly male. She's there, standing on the sidelines. Or I'm staying on the sidelines. I'll give you moral support. You just don't want to fight your way through the sea of men. Partially, yes. On the other hand, I rather observe everything from afar. That's just a nice way of saying that you enjoy watching me suffer. Claire laughs. I take it as her way of confirming my suspicion. I drop my shoulders, accepting my destiny. I salute Claire as if I'm in the army before rushing into the heart of the storm. It takes me 10 minutes to cover 9 feet. On the other side of the crowd, there's a wooden stand with tons of cables surrounding it. They appear to be connected to different electronic devices, half of which I can't even identify. Sitting in the very center of the crowd is the supreme mastermind of this whole event, Ziva Shani. Quick, Edion, give me an adjective. The busy woman asks me an odd question without even looking at me, and makes me wonder if she caught a whiff of my scent or if she has eyeballs attached to the back of her head. Ultra. Everyone knows that the best adjective is ultra. Alright. Ziva writes something down on a piece of paper and immediately looks to her right, pointing towards the person standing next to her. Your turn, Diz. Give me a noun. 8. Denise, who was resting his arm on top of the wooden stand, exhaustedly raises his head. He gives Ziva an unsure reply before going back to sleep. Seriously, if I had to define that guy's worst sin, it would be difficult to choose between sloth and gluttony. Eat is a verb, Diz. Oh well, I can use it anyways. Give me another noun. Oz appears out of nowhere as if he's just fallen from the heavens. He squats down for a second before standing up and walking towards Ziva. He must have injured his ankles if he jumped down from the 2nd or 3rd floor. I'm positive he's hiding the pain to try to look more manly.
Boob. The correct answer is boobs.
Was there a wrong answer? Great. So we're ready now. The 3 of you will be called the Ultra Boob Eaters.
Objection!
I don't know what you're talking about. You're late, and I need the people for the first competition, so I had to team you up with these 2. What has been written cannot be changed. Prepare yourself and go to the starting point. The challenge begins in 5 minutes. Ziva doesn't listen to my complaints. She stands up, picks up the microphone, and announces something throughout the entire school using the loudspeakers. How are my favorite guys? Fine? I'm happy, because we're finally about to start the very first and super secret trial of this competition between Enate and Dujan Institute. Anyone who isn't participating, please sit in the stands. You'll be able to watch everything on those big screens. It's gonna be a tremendous, dramatic, incredible, unforgettable day. Any description I can think of falls short. So please, do everything you can so that those of us who are graduating today can leave with the brightest memories possible. Thank you. Anything for you, Ziva! We love you, Ziva! Marry me, Ziva! So many Ziva fans. I knew about her popularity before, but this surpasses my expectations. Now I understand why my prediction for the attendance was miscalculated, especially when it comes to all of the men here. It's because the committee's boss is able to move the masses with only a wink. Although, looking at this display of equipment and organization, it's pretty clear that it's not only because of her pretty face. She not only has immense charisma, she has immense talent. I'm also a committee member, and I didn't know what she had planned for the day, I guess. I have no idea whatsoever where she got the budget for those big screens and all those electronic devices. Yeah, I was thinking, big screens? That's pretty fancy for a school. I should feel bad about leaving all of that work to her, but it's not like I didn't offer to help her before. And besides, Ziva had been acting weird around me for a while now. Plus, she kept me in the dark about all her plans for today. It's not like our friendship was bad, it's just that our conversations became too normal. She stopped analyzing me at every opportunity for some reason. Now our relationship has become normal, and at the same time it's keeping us distant. Now don't just stand there, compañero. Follow me inside. The starting point is on the 4th floor.